Greetings, walker in the weirdness. Your presence heralds the end of our vigil. Skuld sees the weirdness flowing through you. He is impressed. He offers his help and counsel. A swirl of colors surrounds your soul. It's a beautiful sight. The Thoid tribe longs to dream Mother's dream. It is our greatest desire, our deepest happiness. Mother told Senja, Skuld's sister, when the one who walks in the weirdness arrives, then your time will come, my children. You will fall into the sleep, and we will be together forever. Everyone aids Senja in her dreaming, except Chieftain Ngvi and your humble servant, Skuld. Because of this, Mother's grace flows upon us all, and Senja's sleep remains strong and true. Yes, walker in the weirdness. Thanks to you, they will fall into true sleep. May Mother's light shine upon the moment of your arrival. Mother is everywhere. You can see her image there, towering over our lands. We long to surrender to her. In her warm embrace, we will find eternal shelter. Skuld is not worthy to reveal Mother's secrets, not even to the walker in the weirdness. If Chieftain Ngvi decides to tell the walker more, then it shall be done.
Walker in the weirdness, what draws you to this place where stone and life entwine? Speak, and let the truth in your heart fill the silence. Guide you? No, child. I do not guide. I nurture. I protect what is precious, what endures even in the face of ruin. If you wish my blessing, prove you understand the value of what grows, what blooms, even amidst the ash. Mortals are fleeting, but they are also the caretakers of the world I love. Each life is a spark, each bloom a promise. The fate of mortals shapes the fate of all things, child. That is why I care. Thrygve. His corruption spreads like a poison, choking the life from all it touches. If you wish to stand against him, you must show me that you honor life, even as you prepare to battle death. Bring me the fragile. Flowers. The symbol of life's beauty and brevity. Prove that you understand what you fight to protect, and I will grant you the strength you seek. have shown me your heart, mortal, and it is steady and true. Take this blessing, forged in both bloom and ash, a fragment of what was and what will endure. May it shield you in your darkest moments and remind you of what you fight to protect. Go with my blessing, child, and let life flourish where you walk.
It's you. Do you need something? Ah, these are fine. Just what I needed. Here, take this for the trouble. Now that I think of it, I'll need some frost crop mucus too, just in case. Might be useful, might not. Either way, it's valuable stuff to keep on hand. I'm not surprised. They only live in the Forlorn Swords, in quiet, dark places. Caves, mostly. The Daurida believe they carry the memories of old sages. That's what we call our druids. They say touching them with your bare hands can lead to madness, though I couldn't tell you if there's any truth to that. But what I do know is they are very useful if you want to make special armor. I'll mark on your map where I used to hunt them. That's where I'd start, though you might find them elsewhere too. Anywhere the dark's deep enough. I'm not in a rush, but the sooner you bring it, the sooner I can finish my project. We both stand to gain from that. May strength never leave you.
Well met, traveler. By the stones, you've done it. The blessing of the giants. Do you have any idea what you've accomplished? Forging a weapon from them is the pinnacle of the Stone Warden's craft. It's a feat spoken of in tales but never achieved in living memory. You've brought us to the peak of what we can do, and surpassed even that. It would be an honor to forge this. The giants entrusted their strength to you, and I'll make sure it's bound in steel worthy of their name. Watch closely, for this is the craft of the ages. It is done. Use it with purpose. The strength of the giants is yours to wield. Do not squander it.
You fought bravely, and I have heard your will. Me, the new chieftain? I never sought this, but if that's what the tribe needs, then I'll do my best.
A fine choice, truly. You got the heart for this, and the tribe needs someone like you to lead. You fought for the Ulfr in ways few others have. Let's hope the weight of leadership only strengthens you further. And you've done well, choosing wisely when the tribe needed it most.
I'm humbled, really. I'll make sure our tribe is strong and united, and yes, I'll go to the moot. The Ulfr will have their voice. Thank you for everything you did. We surely couldn't have made it without you. First, I need to get this Thrigvi nonsense out of their heads. That'll be the hardest part. Ulfr might be stubborn, but we're not fools. Once they see Thrigvi dead, they'll come to their senses. Before long, he'll be nothing more than a cautionary tale we tell our children. After that, we honor what the moot decides. If it means war, then we march. And there's nothing the Ulfr love more than battle. Now that you've spoken to the giants and put Thrigvi down, she might finally have a chance to return to herself. I hope the voices are silent now, or will be soon. I couldn't have done this without you. You have my deepest gratitude, and that of every Ulfr. You have my thanks and my respect. It's been a long time since the Ulfr had a reason to stand tall. Thanks to you, we have a reason once more.
You are here, walker in the weirdness. Your arrival heralds change. I am Yngvi. May my stature not surprise you. For the Thoid, it is what you bring to the tribe that matters. I bring myself, my skills, and my devotion. I am my tribe's servant. I've heard the voice, but I cannot answer its call. The members of the Thoid tribe are preparing to fall into sleep, and it is my duty to ensure their safety while they do. We sleep to dream the mother's dream. It is sacred to the Thoid. Until now, only Senya has dreamed, and before her, a long line of devoted and sensitive Thoid warriors. Through the dream, we commune with our guardian giant, the one we call Mother. Now Mother wishes for all of us to join her. She promises to protect us from the weirdness. Mother promises that the strength of the Thoid's united dreaming will repel the weirdness and encompass the entire Forlorn Swords. By embracing the dream, the Thoids will protect not only themselves, but all of the Delrida too. The Thoids have long believed the world is heading towards self-destruction, and we are now on the brink of the end times. If there is a way to prevent that, We will do everything in our power to make it so. We are not sure, but we have faith. It has to be enough. We became certain the moment you set foot in our lands. Your arrival was foretold by Mother. She said that when the walker in the weirdness arrives, it will be time to fall into the sleep. Through our dream, we will save ourselves from the end of days. You are the walker in the weirdness. You can do far more than we ever could. We have tried everything. Magic, diplomacy. Some of us even joined One Eye's rebellion. But it wasn't enough. We needed Mother to show us the way. She said that only by joining her dream in another realm can we truly affect the reality we know. The Gunvalder tribe did the same. They worshipped their giant too. We believe King Arthur entrusted us with his crown for a reason. There's always been a special bond between the Delrida and the giants, going back to the Age of Legends. Perhaps he was the only man who could speak to the giants as an equal. But how could we find out now? The king is dead, and he's not coming back. This is our last chance to make a difference. We need to trust Mother. That's not widely known, but we have our own theory. We believe Arthur bound his essence to the crown, which allowed him to communicate with the giants and gain their allegiance. However, you can't bind your essence to another being without mastering the weirdness first. That's why we believe Arthur must have uncovered the secrets of the weirdness, unlocking the mysteries of the Fordwellers long before he forged his allegiance with the giants. I will keep watch until everyone enters the land of the dreaming. Once they fall into sleep, I'll decide whether or not to join them. I may simply become a nameless, tribeless Delrida. That is my honest answer. It's the only one I can give. Words shape reality. You shouldn't use them unless you're certain of the reality you want to create. How do you think you can help us? Can you do more than walk the weirdness? Can you walk through dreams too? If that's the case, I won't stop you from entering. Mother will decide if you're of use to her. But don't you dare harm her, even if you can. If you do, you'll have the entire Thoid tribe against you. That much I'm sure of. As you wish, Walker in the Weirdness. I won't make any decisions about the dreaming until you return with answers. Or the will of the Mother.
School to see you here, for it means we draw ever closer to Sonder. Behold the dreaming, our true home. Walker in the weirdness. As I greeted you in the waking world, so do I welcome you once more. The world that withers is no home to us. It is a fleeting mirage where nothing holds, nothing remains. There all crumbles, without meaning, without end. But the dreaming is eternal, and it has a purpose. The deepest of all layers, Sonder. When your arrival ended the vigil, the dreaming began. The final phase of our dreaming is Sonder. Sonder is the moments when we shall become one with Mother's dream, forever entwined. Sonder is also a place deep within the lowest layers of the dreaming. There at last we will be safe, far from the world ensnared by the weirdness. Yngvi believes you may unravel the burdens that weigh upon some of the Thoid. Without freeing them from these burdens, they cannot enter Mother's chamber, where each of us must drift into ever deeper dreaming, until at last we reach Sonder. Yngvi's burden is to guard the village of Thoid, to safeguard Mother, and to ensure that all members of the Thoid tribe journey towards Sonder. She awaits the right sign. When it comes, only then will she choose her fate. Life, unfulfilled duties, feelings that tether the soul, keeping it from sinking into the dreaming's embrace. Each of us carries burdens. Once, we of Thoid would end our vigil and return to wakefulness, striving to cast off these burdens through life itself. But your arrival ended the vigil. It began the dreaming, and Thoid may no longer wake, not unless such is Mother's will.
You, don't just stand there. Help me find Vilken. I know that filthy swine is hiding somewhere around here. We have to find him. A filthy beast. A mongrel who tried to put his hands where they didn't belong. Oh, how I wish I had cut them off when I had the chance. But he fled. And now he's entered the vigil and I will not let him go any further. If he dares try to harm her again, I swear... Senya! I swore to protect her, but I failed. I chased Vilken from her bedside, then from the tribe. But he still managed to worm his way into the vigil. I need to find him. As long as he's out there, Senya will never be safe, and I will never be able to join her in Sonder. Because I saw him. I tried to give chase, but he's surprisingly good at slipping away in this place. He cannot be allowed into Sonder. There is no place for the likes of him among the dreaming. His very presence would be like poison. Good. I'll wait for you here. Bring me his head so I can finally dream in peace.
Behold, Walker, this is one of Mother's earthly faces. She watches over us now in the dreaming, as she once did in the waking world. I believe Mather watches your path with great intent, as do I.
Have you found him? Have you killed him? Oh, thank Mother. Senya is finally safe, and now I can see her again. Thank you. Wait, who are you exactly? You look like an outsider, yet you entered the dreaming. Walker in the weirdness. You? Oh, thank Mother. That means the vigil will soon end, and we will all be together. And I will see Senya again. I do. I swore to watch over her in her sleep, and it has been an honor, but I miss her presence. I miss the sound of her voice. She's so still when she dreams. I wish she would smile again. Have a good sleep, I guess. Thank you, Walker in the weirdness. Now that wretch is finally gone, I surely will.
Walker, in the weirdness. You're here. Finally. You have to listen to me. I need to speak with Yngvi. But ever since the dream began, I can't leave this place. She must hear this before it's too late. That's exactly the problem. Sunder is a trap. No one can go there. Especially not Yngvi. Please, I'm begging you. You have to help us. The Giant Mother, the one we believe to be Mather, wants us to become her children, to surrender ourselves to her care. But why did we ever assume she was Mather? Our Mother Goddess was a warrior. She gave us the strength to stand against adversity, to unite against those who seek to destroy the Dalriada. And what is this dream, if not turning our backs on our kin? On the other tribes who still fight? Are we to crawl under Mother's skirts while the world burns? Sunder is an escape, and now I see it clearer than ever. If we flee into Sunder instead of standing and fighting, we are no longer Dalriada. There is no honor in this. We are on the verge of losing everything. Our identity as Toad. Our very souls. I don't know if it'll be enough, but you have to try. Tell Yngvi that Rune reminds her of the duty of every Dalriada. We stand and fight. We dunny run. The Giant Mother is not Mather. She's nothing but a weak, selfish wretch who would see the Tuid destroyed. I know my plea must sound desperate. If you grant my request, I'll enter Sunder. I'll be thrown into it whether I want it or no. But if that is the only way to save the tribe, then I will do it. I will sacrifice myself for them.
Walker in the weirdness, you return. Welcome. I've heard the voice, but I cannot answer its call. The members of the Thoid tribe are preparing to fall into sleep, and it is my duty to ensure their safety while they do. Ah, Runa. I suppose that means you simply must tell me whatever it is, just because it is his wish. He has told you, I hope, how much he longed to become chieftain. He tried everything to be chosen. One of those attempts nearly cost me my life. But among the Thoid, ambition is one of the gravest sins. That is why I was chosen as chieftain. I was the only one who did not seek it. Does he now? And he's only just come to this realization. Now that he's in there, and I'm stuck here. Let me guess. He wants to switch places. To take the chieftain's seat while there's still a tribe left to lead. Sacrificing himself for the tribe? That is unlike Runa. It does make me wonder. You don't know Runa like I do. He would never do anything that doesn't serve his ambitions. But entering Sonder goes against his desires. And if someone like him acts against his own nature, it's worth considering why. The difference between us is that I face my challenges, while Runa flees from his at all costs. Taking him at his word would be naive, but I cannot ignore what he says. I bear a great responsibility. On the one hand, there is the myth the Thoid have followed for centuries. On the other, my own doubts, and the opinion of a man who's known to work against me. Tell me, Walker in the Weirdness, you do not share our burdens. What would you do in my place? I will. You have my word. You, Walker in the Weirdness, see things in a way the Thoid cannot. We've always placed our trust in intuition. And if mine tells me there may be truth in Runa's words, perhaps I should heed by it. Thank you for your involvement. My duty as chieftain is to hear the voices of my entire tribe, even those who are not respected, like Runa. You may leave me to my thoughts now.
Feel the change coming. Thank you for your help.
You are the Walker in the Weirdness. You walk where few dare. I don't feel worthy of asking for your help. I need help. Not for myself, but for those I have failed. My mate Sidara, my friend Bodil, and I went to the Giant's Barrow. We sought knowledge, a sign that we still walked toward Mother's dream. But what we found instead was ruin. Bodil, our companion, did not return. And Sidara, the White's touch took hold of her. She's no longer herself, not truly. Find Bodil. End his suffering. And Sidara, she still sleeps, but her soul cannot rest. They must be freed from this curse. Then, at last, we will have peace. We will join Mother in her sleep. Bodil's earthly vessel might still be in the White's lair. As for Sidara, she sleeps in our hut, beside me. I feel her. So close yet so distant. Please, bring back my loved ones. Free their souls. Then, maybe we can find ourselves again. Join the Mother.
Thrum.
weight, it is lifted. Their souls are free, and now there is only one more task to be done. You must send me to her. Wherever Sidara may be, I will follow. And I know we will be closer to Mother then. More than I have ever been. But listen, my body still clings to this world. The flesh resists what the soul has already accepted. When the moment comes, I may fight. Not because I wish to, but because I am still bound to this place. Still outside Sonder. Do not hesitate. Strike true. And when I am gone, let the wind carry my name to Mother. And yet, there is no other way. If you will not raise your blade, then I must raise mine. Not out of hate, not out of fear, but so you do not have to make the choice yourself. Forgive me.
Ho ho ho, you're here. Munvarth knew you'd come, even before we headed to the Mother's chamber. They call me Jarnsford, because that's my name, Jarnsford. So that's why they call me that. Makes sense, doesn't it? The Mother's chamber, where we'll dream forever. Munvarth says great black ships that devour the sky will take us there. I don't know if that's true. He makes things up sometimes. Like that time he told me he brought me a giant's tooth. Turned out to just be a regular old walnut shell. He's my friend. My raven friend. I mean, he's a raven. Feathers, wings, a beak, all the raven things. And he's the reason I'm worried. Well, not really him, actually. It's my stupid head. Always forgetting things. Before I entered the Mother's dream, I told myself, Jarnsver, remember to let Munvarth out. And, of course, I forgot. Damned useless head. I'd rip it off my shoulders and toss it into the abyss if I could. Yeah, he talks to me a lot. And sometimes he says things that make me really wonder how he even knows them. When I asked him, he just said it's a raven secret. But funny thing, he only talks when it's just the two of us. If anyone else is around, he clams up like a corpse. You know, that could actually be it. I mean, I never thought of myself as a mystic. I always figured I was just spouting nonsense. But maybe I'm actually speaking in mysticisms. Oh, that would explain why I forget everything. My head is filled with mystical secrets beyond mortal comprehension, and there's no room left for mundane things. His cage. And the cage is back at my house. But not here. On the other side. You know, in the waking world. Because we're in a dream right now, right? Sometimes I mix it up and forget where I even am. It's this stupid head of mine, I swear. If Munvar stays in that cage, he'll starve to death. I left him food, but not enough to last a lifetime. Well, I mean, it'll last a lifetime. Just a short one. You don't have to rub it in. I already feel bad enough. Not only did I leave him, but as long as I carry this worry, I can't go deeper into the dream. You will. I'd do it myself, but I can't go back anymore. For Toids, dreams are a one-way journey. Both Munvarth and I would be forever grateful. Here, this is the key to his cage. It works like any key. Just stick it in the lock and turn it. I hope I can travel back to the Waken world. And please, make sure to apologize to Munvarth for me. Did you manage to... Hello. It is you. Did you manage to free him from the cage? Thank you. I hope he finds a new home, or at least some other ravens to keep him company. And I can already feel my burden lifted. Now I can join Mother and Senya in their chamber.
Come, walker in the weirdness. Jarnsfor, Rune, Alfield, Trim. You do not yet grasp the weight you have lifted from their shoulders. No matter how great or small their burden, it still bound them, kept them from journeying towards the deepest layer of the dreaming. But now they may step into Mother's chamber, and you shall be granted this privilege as well. After all, this is why you are here, is it not? Yes, that is why you will enter Mother's chamber, Walker. The choices that must be made shall be made within. No matter the outcome, you have the gratitude of all Thoid. Were it not for you, we could not have embraced the dreaming. We could not have stood before Mother's chamber. You shall see my sister, Senja, and Mother, whose dreams we have shared, and in whose dreams we long to become one. Do not fear. No harm will come to you in the dreaming. I know that you are expected, Walker. Indeed, the time has come.
I have watched your journey, Walker in the Weirdness. I saw how you helped the lost Thoid children face their burdens, the weight that kept them from entering this chamber. For that, you have my gratitude. But I know you have your own purpose. Now tell me what it is. So you have chosen to follow the voice of the tribes and his fading hope. Gerfan, a man who so desperately wished to be a unifier, who carries such a deep thirst for retribution, while I strengthened my bonds with the human children of the Thoid tribe. I learned much of his mission. He believes tradition can be a driving force, that some things must unfold as they always have. That is why he waits for Ingavi. But Ingavi's place is here, among us. And when her kin entered my chamber, the Thoid Elder's burden was lifted. She has no reason to remain in a world crumbling into ruin, all for the ambitions of one old man. The Thoid are not needed by anyone. Gerfan clings to his dreams of unification and retribution, stubbornly picking at wounds that refuse to heal. Tell me, Walker, do you truly believe uniting the Delrida will change the fate of this world? That marching for Camelot will break the cycle? The Thoid have suffered enough. Now they have a choice. Leave this crumbling world behind, or stay and drown with it. You ask me to let them fade into nothingness. I cannot allow that. I don't want to.
Enough. There is no reasoning with the giant's stubborn nature. No matter what you say, she'll keep dragging you deeper into the labyrinth of her mind. That is why I ordered the giants to sleep. Their nature was unpredictable. They reveled in strange manipulations, willing to wager their own lives in primitive bets and frivolous games. And so, I speak. Whatever this one demands, grant it. That is the order of the king to whom you swore fealty.
I was wondering how long you would stay silent, letting the human whose body you stole speak for you. You have lasted surprisingly long. I suppose emptiness and oblivion have taught you some humility. Nevertheless, greetings, Arthur. I am glad I have finally dreamt of this moment. The moment I can tell you, face to face, that everything is your fault. Avalon is falling because you existed. Because you continue to exist. This is also the moment I accuse you of murdering my children. And the children of the other giants. Your human king got to know us well. When he ordered the giants to sleep, he knew that our children could not dream. Dreaming is something giants grow into with age. Having no choice but to obey, we left our children behind in the waking world. Alone, defenseless, condemned to the coldness of death. Quiestra, the child I once held in my arms, never dreamed with me. While I built layer upon layer of my dreaming, she was dying. But I had time. Enough time to dream of Sonder. A place and a state where death holds no power. There, I will dream, Quiestra. I will give shelter to the entire Thoid tribe, including Ingavi. I will not abandon any more children to the waking world.
I have made many terrible mistakes during my reign, but I always considered what was best for my people. At least, that was my intention. I wanted to make Avalon our home, free from the plague, free from forces that would seek to oppose us. I thought that my return would restore balance, that I could prevent Avalon's fall.
Your idea of what is good is twisted, human king. As for you, mortal, yes, you need the blessing of the tribes to claim the crown. Those were the terms of the Sacred Pact, but you will have to manage without the Thoid. They will all come with me into Sonder. I will care for them as if they were my own children. And I will save them from this world's corruption. Indeed, you have the right to make such a demand. The role you played in the fate of the Thoid grants you that authority. And Ingavi, she will accept the path laid before her without protest. Perhaps it is only fair that the last of her people remains awake. That some trace of the beautiful children of Thoid may endure until the end of time. Very well. So be it. The way to Sonder is closed to Elder Ingavi. Her duty now is to carry the legacy, tribe. Walker, although you carry fragments of the King's soul within you, the choices are yours to make. I entrust you with the blessing of my rune, hoping you will choose wisely. And you, Arthur, do not think you still command everything. You are a prisoner of your own legacy. It is done. Our long-dreamt-of meeting has come to an end, and I am pleased with the outcome. Leave now, and let us dream.
Walker in the weirdness, you return. Welcome. I don't know what to say. Has Mother sensed my doubts? My true burden? Deep down, I've always felt that Sonder was not my destiny. I envied Therov for joining One-Eye's rebellion and getting to see the world. I envied Taranis for his work with the Alchemist's Guild. Now I will have the chance to know real life. But I cannot be the elder of a tribe with no tribe. Perhaps I will join those who refused Mother's call. For the first time in my life, I feel free. The Thoid. We have long been divided between those who follow Mother and those who were deaf to her call. Or at least, that's what we believed. That they were cowards, unfaithful, ungrateful wretches. But I was never convinced by those words. To me, they were simply brothers who dared to walk their own path, even at the cost of eternity. Deep down, I admired them. I am still Thoid, and I am young. When I come of age, I can bring more Thoid into this world, perhaps even with the help of those who return home one day. I am certain they will be. They will believe what they choose to believe. It will be a new beginning. My role as elder was to guide the Thoid of old to the dreaming. But those who come after them will live in the waking world, and I will guide them too. At last, I will be allowed to grow up. And I'll admit, I cannot wait. It's hard to say, but I don't truly care. They will either accept us, or they won't. But who knows? Perhaps this time we will grow closer to them. I've always thought they envied our direct connection to Mother. With Mother gone, perhaps we will finally build a true rapport. I don't know how Gerfan will react to an elder without a tribe, but, well, he summoned me, so I will come. There is a reason why the Thoid made me their elder. My power, despised by the other Delrida, is truly unrivaled. And on the battlefield, a skilled Thoid is worth 10 Volker warriors steeped in Mather's fury. I know I will always wonder what Sonder would have been like. And I know my heart will grieve for my kin. But something tells me this path is not closed to me forever. If there truly is a place we go after death, Perhaps it is Sonder. That would also align with Runa's claim that Sonder is a trap, and that, in truth, everyone dies before entering Sonder. Maybe he was right. If so, then when I die, my soul will awaken in Sonder. I will see my tribe again. And finally, I will meet Mother. That is what I have decided to believe. See you at the moot, Walker in the Weirdness. Thank you for everything you've done for us.
Halt! No entry, outsider. Because I said so. You don't even know where you're trying to barge in? You're either very brave or terribly stupid. This is the village of the Volker tribe, and we don't need your kind wandering around, gawking like fools. And you've got the seal. Funny how he only remembers us when he needs something. Fine. Go on then, and speak with our chieftain, Angsver.
Just try not to piss him or anyone off. The only other way out of this village is a long drop straight down.
You don't belong here. Mother speaks and I listen. She says you must be tested. You don't want to fight? Ha! Weakness has no place here. You'll fight whether you want to or not, and you will fight to the death.
Off with you, stranger. I don't want to talk. I feel sorrow. I'll take a look at what I've got. What brings you here? Oh, I saw an outsider. I figured you must have lost your way to end up here with the Volker tribe. But you, not riding ahead, are you? That's why you're here. Can I help you? Speaking so politely to a Volker? You gotta be mad. And to answer your question, no, I can't be helped. I just need to be alone. You won't leave me be, will you? Fine, have it your way. How long can a man sulk anyway? Well, mourning a loss, if you must know. My blade. Shattered into pieces. I've collected every shard, keep them close. It's hard to accept that I'll never wield it in battle again. Aye, I will. Once the sorrow passes. What kind of smith doesn't wield a decent blade of his own? But even so, I could forge a dozen axes, another dozen swords. None of them would replace that blade. It was one of a kind. It was forged from the same metal as the giant swords. I found it after we wiped out our Remor camp. Blood and guts of those wretches were everywhere. And there it was. My sword. It called to me. It was meant to be mine. I shattered it. I realized I couldn't keep going like this. It had all gone too far, far beyond what I could handle. It kept demanding more. Because everything comes at a price. The sword, it needed proof of loyalty. Proof that we were worthy of each other. And since blood binds best, it demanded blood. When there was no one else to cut down, I let it taste my own. Until, one day, the blood of others wasn't enough anymore. It wanted mine. Aye, so what? Don't give me that look. It's clear you've not spent much time with the Volkers, if things like this bother you. It went dull. Dull as an ulcer. Couldn't even cut through a slab of bear meat. Sometimes, if I went too long without tasting my blood, I'd have to fight with that blunt blade. Felt like punishment for letting it starve. Oh, what, you want them? Fine, take them. I'm not reforging it into a new blade. I need to come to terms with the loss. It was meant to be. But if you can forge something from it, I'll commend you.
It's not an easy material to work with. No. That'll be your work, your blade. Just like I once found mine, you'll find yours in the forge's fire. I'll rid myself of what's caused me so much sorrow, and you'll gain something to fight with. A fair trade. Just remember, if it starts whispering to you, there's only one way to deal with it. You'll definitely need Wyrdstone. And besides that, I'll take a look at... Do you need... I'll take a look at...
Greetings, stranger. I'm Engsvar, the chieftain of the Volkio tribe. What brings you here? Ah, Taig. Taig was a problem. The poor man had gone mad. He claimed to hear Mother's voice, that the goddess was commanding him to fight and die a noble death. Someone would have granted him that death long ago. It would have been kinder than his torment. But defeating a madman in combat brings no honor, so he suffered. And we suffered alongside him. Your act was an act of mercy. It's good that someone finally took it upon themselves to do it. We'll need to inform Helmi, Taig's widow. It's best if you handle it. Offer her your condolences. And don't worry, she'll understand that it had to be done. Really, me, a representative of the madmen forsaken by Mother. Does he think I don't know we're the joke of the other tribes? What? Does he want them to laugh in my face instead of behind my back? An agreement. For centuries, every tribe has only looked out for itself. A single conversation isn't going to change that. Besides, with the others there, we'll never be treated as equals. That's just the way it's always been. That's what we are in the eyes of the other Dalrita. Sure, they respect our berserker's fury, when it's not too frequent, and when it happens to serve their battles. But deep down, they see it as madness. They're afraid that in our rage, we might mistake them for the enemy. Unfortunately, I must refuse. The vocal tribe will not join the moot. We have our own issues to attend to. There is one thing, but I'm not sure you can do much about it. It's embarrassing to ask an outsider for help, but I have no other choice. Not far from the village, there's a hill that used to be the seat of our elders. At least, it was. Until bandits moved in and likely killed everyone there. They've destroyed the bridge, fortified the stronghold, and now they sit there, practically spitting in our faces. I know. We've fallen far. Once, we were a proud tribe. Now, we're stuck watching petty thugs parade around our own land. Mother is clearly showing us what she thinks of us. We did. We lost too many good warriors. We underestimated them. On top of that, many Volkir left to join One Eye. So our numbers are thin. We don't even have our Berserker potion. We lost it, along with Mother's Grace. Yes, but if my warriors couldn't do it, I don't expect you to manage it alone. Still, maybe if you could sneak in there somehow and... I don't know. Either way, anyone who helps drive those dogs off our land will be rewarded. I appreciate your courage, though I hope it is courage and not just foolish bravado.
Oh, Tiga. What have you done? Why did you leave me like this? So brave, yet so foolish. What am I supposed to do now? Oh! You startled me. Barging into a Delrida woman's house without knocking. You're lucky to still be breathing. Wait, you're the one who gave him a good death, aren't you? I'm Helmi. Yes, Tiga was my husband. And I suppose I should thank you. I'm only sorry that Tiga is gone. But I am grateful to you. You acted honorably, allowing him to challenge you. No one else was willing to do it. The Delrida think fighting a madman is dishonorable, as if madness could be caught like a sickness. Madder, help me, it's utter nonsense. My poor Tiga. He'd be the first I'd like to kill. But without my husband and without my calling, I don't know what would happen to me if they cast me out. Well, I'll manage somehow. I've survived one heartbreak with Mother. I'll survive another. Now, please, just leave me alone. I don't believe Mother was speaking to him. And I know what I'm talking about. Before I got married, my greatest dream was to become the Volker matron. But I believe that he believed it. That's why they thought he was mad. If I had become a priestess, Tiga would still be alive. I would have loved him from afar, but at least he'd still be here. It's hard not to. Maybe there was something I could have done. Maybe I missed some symptoms, signs that his illness was getting worse. It's nice of you to try and comfort me, but I need to deal with my grief on my own. Though I'll admit, right now, I'd gladly kill half of my tribe. Especially those who refuse to grant him a good death. Maybe he was. He definitely hadn't been himself lately. You see, my Tiga was never a particularly pious man. I sent him to appease Mother with an offering once when my health began to fail. I won't lie. I was frustrated with my own weakness because going to the temple had always been both my duty and my joy. But Tiga went there because he loved me deeply. That's when it all started. I recovered, but he kept going to the temple. Sometimes multiple times a day. He said Mother was speaking to him and that it was his duty to listen to her. He said the fate of our marriage and the fate of all the Volker depended on it. The problem was he started taking all the food we had and we began to go hungry. That's when the real arguments started. So what fate of our marriage was he even talking about? Now that I think about it was such a stupid reason to fight. I should have gone with him, found out what he was talking about. But what's done is done. Tiga's dead. Go ahead if you want to. I've been there myself, but Mother didn't say a word to me, as you can probably imagine. But who knows? Maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe there really is something that reveals itself only to the chosen. If you find it, kill it for me, in Tiga's memory.
blessings. Not Mather, as you've probably guessed. I'm frail. That's what they call me when they cast me out of my tribe. I took refuge here because I thought it best to hide in plain sight. Please, don't turn me in. I'll die out there in the wilderness. Nothing wrong, I swear. I take some offerings from the altar when no one's looking. But no much. Just enough so nobody notices. Sometimes people come seeking comfort, and some want to hear Mather's voice. I'm no Mather, but I can't turn a blind eye to a suffering soul. But you don't look like a Volker to me. I'm no wrong, am I? Perhaps you'll grant me the mercy I won't find among the tribes. I'm no harming anyone here, I swear. Tige. Such a poor, good boy. So misunderstood. He'd give his life for his wife. But I doubt she knows that because the poor lad can't get a word in edgeways. Oh, she's always complaining that she'd sacrifice herself to Mather for him. But between you and me, she was never fit to become a princess. Too eager and aggressive. And Tige, he's such an honest man, truly. He could have done better. What do you mean? Dead? What happened? Oh, I've been so worried about him. He's been gone for so long, but death... Oh, Tige. You gave him an honourable death, and that means you have honour. Your mother should be proud of you, even if she's not Dalraita. I thought I was helping him. He would come to me, talk about his problems with Helmi. I helped him the best I could. I comforted him, like a good mother should. Mather is our mother. I just wanted to help her out. Give that nice boy some hope, in honour of my own children, who now gaze upon Mather's face. My fate is now in your hands. I wouldn't be able to best you in a duel. What is your decision? I see. I don't have anything to live for anyways. Tige was my only joy. Gave my life meaning. It's time to join my children. May Mather watch over our souls.
So my Tige never lost his honor. He was deceived. At least now he can rest in peace. His name no longer stained by madness. Oh, if only I could get my hands on that blasphemous wretch! Tell me, who is she? Have you killed her? You're telling me some nameless wretch caused my husband's death? That she dared to call herself the voice of Meder? She defiled everything that mattered to me. If I had known, I wouldn't have asked you to kill her. Death is not enough for an insult like this. Well, I suppose I shouldn't expect an outsider to understand the weight of what that stray has done. Thank you for clearing my Tiga's name. At least he got some justice.
Don't get too curious.
Stay sharp.
Who goes there?
Keep your wits about you. You made a big mistake.
You're no match for our band. Your wealth is ours.
Keep your wits about you. You made a big... We have company. Stay sharp. This is going to hurt.
Your money? What are you...
Big mistake!
Your gold belongs to us!
You're only making me angrier!
Well, you're working.
What's that noise?
You're no match for our band!
I'll be keeping my eye on you.
Aye. I'll take a look.
Really? How? No, don't tell me. Let it stay between you and Mother. I feel she has a hand in this. Thank you for stepping up for us. I promised a hefty reward, and now it's yours. And since Mother helped with reclaiming the seat of the Elders, maybe her grace will also guide us with the matter of the empty temple. Frigg, the matron who served there, disappeared one fateful day. We searched everywhere, but it was no use. It was like she vanished into thin air. The sacred totem of Mother, passed down from matron to matron, disappeared with her. Without it, we can't appoint a successor, and the temple has remained empty ever since. It's hard to blame her. She left after the massacre of Gunvalder. Her daughter was with a man from that tribe, and was in the village when it happened. Frigg was furious that we didn't come to their aid. But tell me, would anyone have helped us if the situation had been reversed? Of course not. I've spent years questioning whether I made the right decision back then. Even now, I don't have an answer, and I no longer have the strength to dwell on it. You're right. Only a matron can brew the sacred potion that allows us to enter the battle frenzy. Without it, the Vulgar tribe isn't worth much. We gave up searching for her a long time ago. It's pointless. Mother made her judgment clear, but if you're set on trying anyway, speak with Bride. You'll know more than I do.
Ah, so you're the one who lit up this sad old pillar. You almost caused a stir among those sad lumps. Almost. So, I guess you're not exactly what they've been waiting for. But you've certainly piqued my curiosity. This tribe. Once hailed as mighty warriors. Now they're just sitting around, waiting for someone to save them. If it's not their matron they're hoping for, then it's for the pillar to flood the village in scarlet light. They've lost their purpose and are desperate for someone to give it back to them. That's what they call their priestess. She disappeared long ago and never returned. The Volker claims she took Mater's favor with her, leaving them cursed. They act like a spoiled child whose mother suddenly got cross with them, and they can't understand what is happening. It should be amusing, but somehow it's not. That's a good question. The pillar reacted to me when I first arrived, although very faintly. And now it's reacting to you for some undeniably fascinating reasons I'd love to hear about. But here's the real puzzle. Why does the pillar respond to creatures touched by the weirdness? And what exactly are they waiting for if nothing is ever enough? I doubt even Angsvar could answer that, but you should ask him anyway. I'm quite curious to hear what he'll tell you. Meet me later at the temple, fellow brother in the weirdness. I have a feeling we'll have plenty to talk about. Hello again, fellow outsider. Welcome to the heart of the Volker's desolation. It's always a pleasure to... Why, chasing mysteries, of course. You know what I find most fascinating about the Volker? Almost all of them carry the faint scent of the weirdness. The traces of it run through their veins, like tiny sparks lighting them from within. That caught my curiosity, so here I am, trying to satisfy it. Angsvar let me stay because the pillar glowed when I arrived, and everyone decided it meant something. Salvation, a new beginning, anything to pull them out of this mire. I turned out to be none of those things. So I promised him I'd at least try to figure out how to open these damn doors without the matron's totem. So far, I've failed spectacularly at that too. There's no priestess, no goddess, and barely any believers. Hardly enough to call it a temple, is it? Faith breaks so easily. That's why we don't believe in locking it away in buildings. Or people, for that matter. Other than their famous battle rage being less about their goddess's wrath and more about the weirdness churning behind these doors? Not much, sadly. The mysteries just keep piling up, as they always do. Speaking of which, there's something I want to ask you. You're not one of my kin, yet you almost feel like one. It's a bit distracting. Tell me, what's your secret? I did say almost, didn't I? I may not know every Pict on Avalon, but I know my own when I see them. Matron Frigg. I doubt she'd have been pleased to see me here, in a place that belonged only to her and those who came before. The Volkers say she cursed them and left, that Mater herself hid her tracks so she could never be found. They're wrong. At least about finding her. She may be gone, but her presence is everywhere. You just need to follow it. You've seen it by now. On Avalon, the weirdness is always there. Thick in some places, thin in others, but never truly gone. And everyone leaves their mark on it. Some faint, some strong, but someone like the Volker matron, she'd leave a trail bright as a blaze. You just need to find it. First, you'll need to sharpen your senses to the weirdness. I have something that can help, but before you set out, I want to ask a favor. When you find the totem, don't go running straight to Angsvar. Bring it here instead. If a new matron takes her place, these doors will close to both of us forever. And I need to know what's behind them. I'll repay you, I promise. Answers and more. Excellent. I can hardly wait. Here, ether bloom. Woven with ethereal cobweb and just a hint of wolfsbane. You'll need to smoke it. Be brave.
Don't get too curious.
What brings you? I'll take a look up. Do you need? Right, don't bother.
With our luck, it couldn't have ended any other way. But the totem, was it with her? If so, we can at least name her successor. Could it be that Mother is finally smiling upon us? Thank you. Feels like seeing the first light of dawn after a night that refused to end. But this isn't the end of our misfortunes. Elspeth, the girl chosen to be the next matron, took her own life today. Threw herself onto the rocks. Hard to say. It's been a dark time for all of us. But maybe she had her own burdens. Ones we never saw. Shame she chose such dishonor. Shame she did it. Certain. She was well liked. Nobody would have had anything to gain from her death. And I refuse to believe that any Volker would kill their own kin. Especially not a matron-to-be. We need a matron. And if she won't name one, I'll have to do it myself. It goes against tradition. But I don't have a choice. Maybe you should check Elspeth's hut. See if she left any notes or hints about who should follow her.
It's always a pleasure to see you, fellow. Oh, now that is exciting. But please, the honor should be yours. You're the one who put in all the hard work, after all. I'll be right behind you. Oh, you're back. I tried following you, but the door shut right in front of my face. Almost on my nose, to be honest. Maybe I could go in now, but first I'd rather you just tell me what happened in there. A Fort Dweller? Ah, so it's just as I suspected. But why would a Fort Dweller be in what's supposed to be the Temple of Meter? Angsvar told me the pillar in the village was ancient, and that back in the day it would blaze scarlet with Mater's true fury. But we both know that it simply reacts to creatures touched by the weirdness, and it hardly ever blazed for either of us. That's because it's tuned to react specifically to the Fort Dwellers. I know that Alrita fought alongside King Arthur against them, but it still doesn't explain why this one tribe has a pillar like that. Oh, I see now! According to the Volker legends, the first berserkers were born on the battlefield during the war with the Fort Dwellers. Mater was supposed to lend them her anger and strength, but maybe the truth is far more visceral. Blood has power. The druids always knew that. And the blood of a Fort Dweller must have been the purest weirdness, the purest intent. If you believed it could make you invincible, then that's exactly what it would do. War is disgusting. Blood, rot, viscera, it's all part of it. What happens in war is never pretty. Maybe, once, it could have been a captive, brought here by the Dalrita and hidden in the vault. But there's no way it survived for 600 years, being bled over and over again. Nothing could endure that. At least, I hope not. I think it's an apparition of the weirdness. Same with the blood. But with intent that strong, sustained for so long, it's probably indistinguishable from the real thing. Well, I can't say for certain. Although personally, I don't believe she's truly on Avalon. As for the potion, her wrath isn't really hers. It's born of the weirdness. That's why so many of the Volker still have its traces coursing through their veins. Once someone drinks the potion, it stays with them. But that much weirdness all at once for someone so unprepared? Well, it can't be good for them. No wonder other tribes thought they were madmen. And no wonder there are so few left. You will do with this knowledge what you see fit. Angsvar and I, we've had our differences. I doubt he'd believe me. And honestly, I'm not brave enough to try to convince him. Now, I promised you a reward. I'll give you something he refused, but it might be of some use to you. I've managed to create a recipe for something similar to their potion. It's not as potent, but now that I know what it is, it's far less damaging to the body. Take it. You look like you've still got a long journey ahead of you. Don't mention it. It's been a pleasure meeting you. I think I'll stay here for a while and see how things unfold. After that, I'll find another mystery to chase. Who knows? Maybe our paths will cross again, fellow traveler in the weirdness. In the meantime, try not to get into too much trouble. Unless it's something interesting.
What do you want? Unless you can tell me where my era is.
I got nothing to say to you. My woman, she ran off into the forest and left me behind. You're a stranger, so you wouldn't understand what a stain on Dalriada honor it is to lose your woman like this. So now, I just sit here, staring into the bottom of this mug, hoping one day I'll drown in it. That's all there is to my story. Why should I tell you? I don't even talk to my own kin about it, let alone some outsider.
Do you need... Farewell, Stein.
You? What are you doing here? Haven't you done enough? You're the reason Elspeth is dead now. If you hadn't pried into Volca business, she'd still be here. You brought back the matron's totem. We hoped it would stay lost forever, but now the doors are open again and Elspeth's worst fears have come true. No. Frigg had chosen Elspeth's mother as her successor, but then Frigg disappeared and Elspeth's mother fell ill. Everyone feared that even if the totem was found, we'd be left without a matron. On her deathbed, Elspeth's mother named Elspeth as her successor. She never wanted it, but you don't refuse your dying mother, do you? We thought the tribe would eventually move on, find new ways to worship Mather, and leave this madness behind. But then you showed up. And bring down the wrath of the entire tribe on us both? After everything that's happened in Volca, do you really think they'd calmly accept her saying no? They wouldn't care about our plans for the future. Plans that don't involve Elspeth being stuck in the temple forever. To them, it's an honour. This entire tribe is worthless. They all see themselves as Mather's chosen, yet they act like sheep who can't survive without a herding dog. You don't know? They didn't tell you? Being the matron is torment. It only ends in death. When a matron undergoes initiation, it's said she becomes a living vessel for Mather's wrath. It's like drinking that cursed potion. Your veins burn and your mind screams for blood. Our matrons spend their days isolated, barely holding back the berserker madness that threatens to consume them. They rely on calming herbs, meditation, whatever they can, but they need an iron will to endure. Elspeth wasn't like that. She wore her heart on her sleeve. She loved people. She loved the mountains. She wasn't meant to spend her days alone in a dark room, hovering on the brink of madness. I wanted to. I would have become nameless and lived among the non-reader, anything to stay together. But Elspeth, she couldn't. She said she couldn't break the promise she made to her mother. And what about her promises to me? How would they any different? A broken word is a broken word, whether it's to me, to you, or to Mather herself. She didn't want to live without honour. But she died without it anyway, and I couldn't stop her. I couldn't do anything. Yeah, me too. Now you see why we don't like outsiders prying into our business. Here, Elspeth left this letter for you. I found it among her things. She must have written it when word got out that you were looking for Frigg. Take it and go. There's nothing left for you here.
Dead by her own hand, rather than serve as matron. How could she do this? We needed her. The tribe needed her. And now what are we supposed to do? The tribe cannot survive without a matron, but I cannot force anyone to take the mantle. We've seen what can happen. Find us a matron stranger. Someone willing. Someone with strength. I can't ask them myself. They will obey. Find us a matron stranger, and I will attend the moot. That's a promise of the Volkir. Yes. Of course you'd suggest Helmi. I'm just a bit concerned about her temper. If the moot goes Gurfhan's way, I'd rather that fire be directed at our enemies. Still, she's always been devoted. Maybe you're right. Maybe she does deserve this after all this time. I'll talk to her. If I can get a word in edgewise. And I remember my promise. I will attend the moot. There aren't many of us left. But it's time we reclaim our honor. Mother is with us again. And we'll make those Camelot dogs fear her wrath. And if this is the end of us, well, at least we'll fall as true Volkir.
Watch yourself.
Yes? Who have you managed to convince? This pleases me greatly. The Svein are the finest scouts this land has ever known. Their skills will be invaluable in the war, and in shaping Avalon afterward. Allow me, in return for your effort and intervention, to return this piece of armor to you. It will improve your chances in the trials of the King's threat. How did you manage to convince the Twyde tribe? They've always kept to themselves, no matter the hardships we faced. You've done the impossible, and I want to give you an artifact the Twyde tribe once guarded. Here, a part to the King's armor they were tasked with guarding. It will aid you as you face the challenges of the King's threat. Yes? Could it be that the Volker have uncovered the truth about Mother? Unbelievable. Of all the tribes, I thought the Volker would be the least likely to show. Take these pieces of the King's armor, once guarded by the Volker. A gift in return for the help you gave them. May they serve you well in the King's threat. You have no idea how glad I am that the threat of Tryggve has passed, and that they've managed to appoint a new chieftain. The members of the Ulfred tribe are always the first to fight. Their strength and endurance are unmatched. Without them, we could forget about any real war effort, especially against Camelot. So, allow me to offer you a gift in thanks for aiding their tribe. A unique piece of our king's armor, forged by Ulfr himself, the very forefather they take their name from. Go now, my king, and reclaim your crown. All the tribes can do now is patiently wait for your return.
his burden, the man beneath the myth. I am the face that time forgot, the name that was never enough.
First, you used these people to win yourself a kingdom, and now you herded them here under threat of being stomped to death by giants if they leave or disobey. After all that they've gone through, all that they've done, all that they've suffered, this is how you intend to repay them?
No kingdom will stand with people like them within its borders. They would have to change their ways. The Del Rita are not ready for this. You know this.
You did worse than all of them combined, and you are the one responsible for all they've done so far. They fought for your name and under your banners. Does this mean you're not fit to be a king? Not ready to have a kingdom?
I left the heritage of Pendragon behind me. I severed the ties between myself and my tribe. I lost all that tied me to the past when I became king. I set a new path for myself. They are not ready to do that.
Bullshit. You forced them to go against their sacred traditions. You destroyed their identities. They betrayed their comrades because you ordered them to. They kidnapped the children of the giants because you told them to do it. Everything they did was so that you could win this war. And now what? You're going to punish them for being your best, fiercest soldiers, most loyal of your men?
This is not...
Oh, stop with your excuses already. You broke them, and now you're abandoning them to starve or freeze to death in these damned lands.
This kingdom needs to be built on peace, Caradoc. Letting them live among merchants, lords, and ladies in Camelot or Timberwall. How would that go?
Exactly as anyone would expect it to go.
So we would end up with a civil war. Right after we won the war that almost annihilated us all.
Oh, damn you. I've had enough. I stood by you through everything. Even what you did to me. To Seawall. I let it all slide. I told myself it was for something. For a noble cause. But this is where I draw the line. I renounce my oaths, and I'm walking away. Put a blade in my back if that helps you sleep. I don't care. Not anymore.
Now I remember it all. I left the best of my people here. I betrayed their loyalty. And for what? Everything is in ruin. Everything I struggled to build is corrupted. This land, it had a glorious past, but it has no future. There is no way to save it. I know. I see it now. And it was my decision that cost them the ability to grow and change. I may have been right about the diagnosis. Now I see I could have been wrong about the cure. The tribes helped us win the war. They were fearless and followed every order. They were the most loyal of all. But I left them broken. And after the war, their bloodlust was insatiable. I had to do something. This felt like the only choice. The giants sided with our enemy. We had to find a way to remove them from the equation. So, under cover of night, the tribes stole their children. I told the giants their offspring were our hostages, and that we would slaughter them if they refused to bend the knee. One of the most humiliating moments of that whole war, both for me and for the Del Rita. Caradoc had the clearest eyes of any of us. He saw things for what they were. And I think I destroyed that. Destroyed him with all I did. I turned him into this. And now he's only a shadow of the man I once knew. He used to carry hope. Now all he carries is vengeance. I come from the Pendragon bloodline, a heritage drenched in as much blood as that of the Del Rita. A heritage that pillaged and fought in the homelands for longer than anyone can remember, and unable to build anything that withstood the test of time. I decided to leave it behind me when we won the war against the Four-Dwellers, and built our kingdom on Avalon on stronger foundations. Now we've seen that my bloodline must have been cursed. There's nothing left. Nothing worth saving. Nothing worth rebuilding. I gave everything I had to this land. My blood, my soul, my name. And the land devoured it all. I betrayed the ones who believed in me. I cut down the men who fought for me. I turned away from my own blood to build something better. And all I built was another ruin. I thought I was forging a future. I was just extending the fall. Do what you want. There's nothing about this land that I recognize anymore. All I've ever done got turned into dust, corrupted against my intentions, destroyed. Why bother? Future King, you return. Speak your will through the mortal you now inhabit. Is it time for us to awaken? We have waited for this moment for ages. We shall return to the home of our ancestors. We are grateful for this decision. Your will shall be done.
We are ready to begin the moot. We were only waiting for your return, once and future king. You were strong enough to walk the king's thread, and you conquered it. What is your will, my king? What decision have you made regarding the giants? I understand your decision, though I struggle to accept it. We had the chance to end the war once and for all, and instead we are left with a fragile peace. I only hope that the threat of the weirdness is real enough that Camelot will turn its strength toward protecting the people, and not, once again, to march on our lands. Thank you, my king, for your intervention. I, the voice of the Dalrida tribes, accept your decision with humility and gratitude.
Come here. Come here. So, you're a real wanderer then. And here I thought this was your first time in the Forlorn Swords. You've seen a thing or two, and you've met Garth. That means you've crossed paths with a piece of our history. That man and the capital, they're both relics, if you know what I mean. How's the old wolf doing? No, don't tell me. I'll find out for myself sooner or later. I'm not dead yet. I just need a moment. Come here. Hey, you there. Non Rita. Spare a moment, will you? Come here.
So, you finally made it. Took you long enough. I hope you're ready, because this is it. The beginning of the end. Ready to finish your journey, of course. You've come far, but every path ends somewhere. Yours ends here, in the heart of it all. Philosophically, not you specifically, but someone like you. Literally. Yes, and I was getting quite bored with the wait. This is the Charred Conclave, a graveyard for druids, burned alive as scapegoats for the Red Death. It's a reminder of what happens when people fear what they don't understand. To greet you, I was once where you are now. A knight with questions, searching for answers. That search led me to this place. And here I found my answers. Now it's your turn. Well, first, you're going to meet my former employer. We don't see eye to eye anymore, but we both realize that our collaboration yields results, as shown by you being here. He'll try to sugarcoat the hard truths I've been telling you from the beginning, spin them differently. Never mind. Why waste time here talking about it when you're just a step from the end? It's best if you just go forth and see for yourself. Just remember, this is the point of no return. Once you've stepped through, there's no going back. But if you've come this far, I suppose you already knew that. Go on. He's waiting for you.
At last we meet. I've heard much about you. Your choices, your determination. Caradoc isn't easily impressed, but he was impressed with you. Few dare to seek the truths buried in Avalon's shadows. Fewer still make it this far. I was the first. Caradoc followed when my brethren burned and the tear opened. And now, here you are. A truly rare and joyful occasion. Oh, forgive my lack of manners. I am Orin, the last apprentice of Merlin, and the last archdruid of Avalon. I've carried the weight of this land's secrets longer than I care to admit. But names mean little. What matters is the task before us. What lingers here, it's older than Avalon, older than anything we know. What you see is the beginning of weirdness itself. Its purest form, raw potential, unshaped by anything but its lack of boundaries and limits. Beautiful, isn't it? Oh, precisely the opposite of what Caradoc wants. I want you to help me resurrect King Arthur. Properly this time. Ridiculous, I know. But yes, that's what it boils down to. At some point, we stopped seeing eye to eye and chose different paths. Ultimately, though, both our paths led to you. Yes, please let me explain. By the end of his life, Arthur became obsessed with his legacy. He left mementos, artifacts that embodied the virtues he wanted Avalon to preserve. Excalibur, a symbol of loyalty and sacrifice. The crown of Pendragon, a beacon of courage and resilience. The shield of Palamedes, wisdom and independence. But Merlin and the others didn't believe that would be enough. The memory of war and the fragility of peace was still too fresh. So they acted. When the king died, his soul wasn't allowed to move on. It was shattered, bound to those artifacts. A clever solution, but ultimately flawed. They feared losing what Arthur represented more than losing Arthur himself. They thought the king's essence would endure, if bound to his relics. You can't pick and choose with a soul, but that's exactly what Merlin did. He focused on 3 parts of Arthur: his strength, wisdom, and courage. He left out 2 pieces. One, tainted by the Four Dwellers' magic, was deemed too dangerous. The other was his humanity, the most fragile part. Merlin thought compassion and doubt were weaknesses, unfit for a king. Without them, Arthur became hollow. A king with power, but no heart. That way, Avalon's greatest failure was born. I tried. And I found his humanity. It's here, bound, kept safe. But the Four Dwellers' aspects was left to drift, untethered between worlds. Finding it needed more than magic. It needed someone like you. The horrors you endured on that island gave you something no one else has. You can move through the weirdness, touch it, and return whole. That's why you found the King's soul, bound it to yourself and came back. No, the Asylum treated you as a subject. I see you as a savior. Your suffering gave us a chance. And for that, I am both grateful and deeply sorry. I can see you're still doubting me. I want to bring back our king, whole and complete. I want him to lead again and safeguard Avalon's future. Because I've seen what happens without him. Weirdness preys on the weak, and the people are too divided to stand against it alone. Arthur is their only hope. Ever they're left without him, without guidance, chaos takes hold. Division festers. You've seen it during your journeys. If things continue this way, Avalon will tear itself apart long before weirdness finishes the job. Then Avalon falls, and with it everything we fought to protect. But I don't believe I'm wrong. Help me bring the king back, whole and complete. That's all I ask of you. Now you need to go further. I made my case. Please keep in mind what I told you. This is the only way for Avalon to survive.
I was there when it all began, when Arthur first set foot on Avalon. I was a knight in his army. We believed in him, in his dream, in his kingdom. And for a while, it was glorious. Every battle felt like a step closer to peace. Every sacrifice justified by the dream we shared. But then came the cost. The war crimes, the impossible decisions, the massacres, slaughters, and irrational cruelty. We turned from knights into butchers, all because his dream demanded it of us. At first I told myself it was necessary, that it was the price of building something great. But the longer it went on, the harder it was to believe. That's when I realized Arthur wasn't a god, a savior, or a king. He was just another man, no different from the rest of us. And no man should have the power to demand such sacrifices. But do you understand why I want it so much? I'd like to believe that after 600 years I've moved past pettiness. You need to understand that people thought, and still think, that he was more than human. But he wasn't. He made mistakes, just like any man. And the cost of those mistakes was always paid for by others. I've seen what happens when people cling to kings and myths. They wait, they follow. They waste their lives on promises that never meant anything. But that's not my problem. I'm not here to fix Avalon or to free anyone. What comes after doesn't matter. Let it all burn. Let it rot. Let it rebuild. I won't be here to see it. Let them stand, let them fall. It's not my concern. If the weirdness takes them, so be it. At least it won't be another king's failure. Another lie propping up a dying world. It'll just be what it is. Arthur's the only myth that still holds weight. And when he's gone, the rest will rot with him. A puppet king, another empty throne, none of it will last. Maybe they'll keep pretending for a while. Maybe they won't. Call it chaos, call it freedom, I don't care. Let them rise, let them fall. Let them tear each other apart. I just want to watch it all come down. To see the last lie collapse under its own weight. What comes after? That's for the ones still standing to figure out. Then let it. If this world can't stand without a dead king propping it up, maybe it deserves to fall. I've lived longer than any man should, seen more than anyone should ever bear. And I've waited centuries for this moment, this chance, to end it all, to end him. Orin's a druid. That's what they do. They believe. They believe in myths, in symbols, and some of them believe in saving Avalon. I don't believe it's my decision to make. Not Orin's, not Arthur's, not mine. I've watched this cycle turn too many times. I have no stake in what comes after, only in making sure this nightmare finally ends. We were fools to tamper with forces we didn't understand. Resurrecting Arthur, infusing him with powers of the weirdness. We didn't just bend the natural laws, we shattered them. Such violations of nature's order cannot go unanswered. The bill comes due, sooner or later. Always. This cannot be allowed to continue. Listen, it's taken longer than I ever imagined, but now, here we are. You've done what no one else could, what even I couldn't do. You've brought Arthur's soul back together, almost complete, but not quite. And because of you, I can finally finish what I started centuries ago. So, thank you for bringing us to this moment. You're close now. Just one more step. The last fragment of Arthur's soul is waiting for you. Complete what you came here for. And then, we'll meet again. As allies, or as enemies. That's up to you. Go. Find the last piece, and let's end this. Whatever comes next, I'll be ready. I hope you will be too.
You've come. The one who carries what's left of me. Please, don't come any closer. Don't force me to think about coming back again. Just let me finally die. Because I've had enough. Enough of being torn apart and stitched back together. Enough of being used, shaped, and forced to be something I'm not. Do you know what it is like to be a king of nothing? To see the people you swore to protect suffer because of your choices? Or worse, in your name. I've seen towns burnt to the ground, families destroyed, all because someone thought it would serve the greater good. And they called it loyalty. They called it justice. I've been dragged through every dream, every lie they've built around me. And I'm tired. Tired of the weight, of the expectations, of all of it. And most of all, I'm tired of failing. Orin wants a king, not me. He doesn't see the broken man behind the myth. He sees a symbol, a weapon to wield against the weirdness. But symbols aren't people. They're empty. And the more they're used, the more they hollow out the one who carries them. That's all I've ever been to Orin and the Druids. Do you know what it's like to be a weapon? To be forged, sharpened, and thrown at every problem? He thinks ending me will free Avalon. But what then? Without an idea, a light to guide them, they'll stumble, lose their way, and turn on each other. People always seek something to follow, something to believe in. Take that away, and they'll tear each other apart trying to find it. Or worse, build something even crueler in its place. I want release. I want to stop being a tool in their endless struggle. Kill me. Destroy the last piece of me and use the energy however you wish. Take it yourself and become the new king. Give it to someone else. I don't care. Just don't let me come back again. Let me die. Not as Arthur, not as the king, just as a simple, normal human being. I don't care. Do you know how freeing that is? To finally not care what happens next? Whether Orin gets his king or Caradoc gets his ruin? To not feel the burden of all my failures? To not see my memory tarnished, my plans, goals, and ambitions dragged through the mud? To not see the suffering my name causes? No more deaths in my shadow. No more kingdoms built on my bones. Isn't that what you've been doing all along? Carrying what's left of him? You've already taken up the humanity I was meant to represent. Doesn't that prove Arthur doesn't need me anymore? Another way? There's always another way, isn't there? Another cycle, another resurrection, another lie to keep the world spinning. But please, not for me. Not anymore. I've had enough. I don't want another chance. I want this to be over. Do what you think is right. That's all I can tell you. Because whatever you decide, it will finally be your choice. Not mine. Not theirs. And that's the only thing I've ever wanted. You hold the choice. I don't care who you side with. Orin, Caradoc, or no one at all. You have all of my soul. Use it. Take it for yourself. Or give it to someone else. I don't even want to know. Do what you will with it. Just let me go. Let me finally rest. Let me die. Please.
Go on. He's waiting for you.
Let me go. Let me finally rest.
You carried a dying king across the bones of a dying world. Now you stand before what started it all. An idea. I am the reason there must be an ending. I do not guide. I do not judge. I exist so that something can be chosen. I do not offer meaning. I require that one be made. You have brought all things to their conclusion. Now, decide what must remain. Choose, and let the shape of the world follow. You will break the frame, and what follows will not remember you. You will vanish into the story you chose to restore. You will be seen. You will be followed. You will be blamed. You will shape the world to become its witness. Then the idea shall fall, its weight discarded, its rule denied. But the soul is not yet yours to give. First, it must be purified of what still speaks through it.
Thank you. But promise me, you will win this fight, my friend.
After everything you've seen, you side with Caradoc. Then all the suffering, all the pain, meant nothing. Avalon will be reborn. Perfect this time.
You brought down the cycle with steady hands and no promise of glory. You did not claim the throne. You buried it. There is no king now. Only the truth you made and the path others may follow. You had no answers, only scars and the will to keep walking. And sometimes that was enough to keep others going too. With One Eye and Captain Brandon working side by side, the South found a peace it hadn't known in years. The roads stayed open, the fields were guarded, and the people finally felt safe. No longer bound to Camelot or the Knights of the Round Table, it became a land ruled by its own people on its own terms. The men here stayed in Kuanacht, but Yvain failed to rally the minds and hearts needed for his Grail quest. With no clear leaders and rising tension, both Kuanacht and Camelot grew fragile, drifting toward division, with no one left to hold the line. You awakened the giants, only to command their end, leaving no power behind for either side to claim. Without their strength, the balance held, but the divide between Camelot and the Dal Rita remained, wide, bitter, and far from settled. Fergus was named the new Galahad the Loyal. With One Eye and Brandon unable to rally the Dal Rita of the Forlorn Swords, the South remained divided. Fergus prepared Camelot's forces to reclaim the region by strength, determined to restore unity through conquest if necessary. The captain led the South to independence, breaking all ties with Camelot. Under his rule, the Horns of the South flourished. Merchants, pilgrims, and adventurers returned to the roads, and prosperity once again reached the far corners of the land. One Eye ruled the South with the Horns of the South at his side. The Dal Rita, the Forlorn Swords, remained divided, leaving the South strong but isolated. Without wider unity, his rule endured for a time. The future beyond his leadership remained uncertain. Nianta left Kuanacht with Yvain, and her fate remained unknown. Yet among the people she once served, tales of her devotion and courage endured, and her name was remembered with respect. Maggot chose to remain in Kuanacht, and the people stayed with him. Over time, they grew to trust him and often sought his wisdom. In time, he took on an apprentice, planting the first seeds of a new druidic tradition. Wyrd left Kuanacht alongside Yvain, despite concerns about his age. His fate remained unknown, but the people admired him for finding purpose at the end of his life, and spoke of him with lasting respect. Ailey turned to the merchants for support, and for a time the hospital prospered. But when they began charging patients for care, she walked away and opened her own small practice, refusing to serve profit over healing. With Helmi as the new matron, the Volca returned to their former glory with renewed ferocity, their berserkers filled with an aggression that stirred quiet fear among the other tribes. Among the united tribes of the Dal Rita, the Volca were treated with equal parts awe and mistrust, seeming to teeter closer and closer to madness. Ingui turned away from the eternal sleep, choosing life over dreams. In time, she began to rebuild the Thoid among the living, planting the first seeds of a new future for her scattered people. Under Stronar's leadership, the Ulfra found new strength. He rebuilt the tribe and reunited them with the rest of the Dal Rita, restoring their place among the tribes of the Forlorn Swords. With the Stagfather slain and the old bonds broken, Balaam led the Svine towards a new path. He opened the tribe to the other clans of the Dar Wheater and guided them to settle in the Mather mines. After returning to Camelot, Killian lived quietly for a time. When he vanished, few asked questions. Unsettling rumors had always followed him, and most preferred not to remember.